Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Sorry.
Hello everyone, and why the face? Welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for the original Season 4, Episode 10, Phantomesque. I am your host, Mike, and joining me is Captain Smiles, Nikki, and Kim.
Hi, I'm Captain Smiles. How are you?
And yeah, it's Dom.
Having some issues.
If you watch us and don't know who that is by now, you have not been paying attention.
I'm not paying attention. Who am I? Captain Smiles?
Me neither. I'm not. What were we doing again? What day is it?
My hair has a mind of its own.
Oh, you're still doing L'Oreal commercials.
Yeah.
Gotta multitask for the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get that money.
Yep.
Oh my god. So, we had a week break. We're back from that week break. The Okay, question before we get into anything. Am I wrong in thinking that this was a 16-episode season? For the originals?
Yes.
You're not.
I am wrong.
I thought it was shorter than that.
Okay. I was under the impression that it was 16 episodes, just like the Vampire Diaries, but no, it is 14 because, you know, when I saw the promo for next week's, it's like, only 3 episodes left, and then it just hit me like, wait, what is going on here? So, just wanted to...
It was a shortened season because of the mid-season slot that it was put into, which it's also put into for next season. So, this is going to be a reoccurring thing. I like the shorter format. I think it fits the show a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of popular shows are only... 13 is the magic number for a lot of shows right now.
Yeah.
13 episodes.
Well, if you draw it out, you get a lot more of those just random episodes that don't make any sense, or they don't have a plot, or don't have a point. They're just kind of there, and then you kind of just go, why?
And when they get to the point where the filler, I'm putting that in quotation, filler episodes come in and they actually make sense and they're connected to the plot, they're like 12 seasons into the show. It's kind of drug out for a while. They haven't found their niche for a really long time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not pointing fingers at any particular show or anything.
No, not at all. But one thing I can...
We didn't name names.
One thing I can't really ever accuse the originals of is having a filler episode. Like a pure 100% filler, no plot advanced.
Because they don't.
No, they haven't. They've had weaker episodes. But
They have
Yeah.
had weaker episodes.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, every show's going to have a weaker episode. Of course, there's those shows that have weaker seasons. But
Not pointing any fingers at any particular shows.
Sorry.
I had another one in mind that kind of is in the same universe, but
You should get a lozenge for that cough, Dom.
Ooh, yeah, I know. It's getting bad.
Mm-hmm. Alright, anyway, on to this actual episode where, hey, check it out, Rebecca and Cole are partying it up and eating an entire club full of people.
I kind of think it was them eating other vampires. They're kind of like getting off. I think it was a vampire club, and they were just having fun with each other. Because
I don't think so.
I think a lot of them were vampires. Because
the one that
Cole was eating.
Was a vampire.
Yeah, because she was part of Elijah's line. She was like limp and gray and gross in his arms, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then Rebecca's like, "Oh no, I know what this happened last time. Oh goodness."
It seemed like there was only a handful of those vampires in the club, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people just screamed and ran out when the bodies started dropping, so...
True. So...
I mean, but to be fair, if you're a vampire, you're not, like, in the loop or whatever. You don't know that when, say, the sire line, the first person that, like, starts the sire line gets killed, the rest of them die. Like, say you're not in the loop. Say, like, they didn't, Rebecca's,
Younger
like...
vampires and stuff.
Yeah, and Rebecca, the only reason why she knew probably what was happening is because she had seen it before. All the other vampires probably hadn't. So it could have been just like, oh no, what's happening? We're
Like-
vampires being targeted. Run, get the hell out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a disease for vampires.
I figured they would have all ran out with super speed, though.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that they would have probably ran out at high speed, not like at slow, panicky human in a horror movie speed.
That would have been funny. All of a sudden, just poof, and then there's just Rebecca and Cole standing there going, "Oh."
I think it was
Yeah.
a mix. I honestly think the club was mixed.
Yeah, I think it was as well.
Well, they figure, hey, Elijah's dead because Klaus is unlinked, and neither of them are dead. And it doesn't matter if Cole's dead because his whole sire line's dead already.
Mhm.
So, holy shit, someone just killed Elijah. Let's go kill them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like,
Can you imagine if we ended last episode with this scene?
That would have been a much better cliffhanger, in my opinion.
Because then you guys would have been like, he's actually dead. And B would have flipped tables. She would have,
So
She
bad.
should- the face.
Well,
she
you
would've-
heard me. I told you
she
the
would've-
last few minutes. I was like,
technically, the break that we had last week was supposed to be like our mid-season break for this show
yeah.
because they're going straight through to the end now. So
Kim
You
would have
know.
flew down, punched Julie in the face, like the whole nine works. I see it now. I see it now.
ooh.
instead of her hair would have just like manifested into wings, and she would have just flew straight to Julie.
Yeah.
Strangle people with.
She'd have shown
Actually,
up
I
on
was
set.
told at work the other day because I was wearing a ponytail that apparently my hair is a weapon.
It's true.
I've been whipped by a girl with a lot of hair in a ponytail. She whipped me with the ponytail. It does not hurt. It's not pleasant. It's a very painful experience. Yeah, anyway, so Cole and Rebecca back, which we knew would happen because it always happens.
I'm just so sick of Rebecca and Cole disappearing for seasons at a time, coming back, disappearing in the middle of the season, and coming back for like 2 or 3 episodes. I've had it. Like, these are my 2 favorite vampires in the original Bloodline, and
We know why Rebecca has
I
had
know.
her.
Yes, we
I
know.
know.
why they're doing it. It's just
Claire
getting
Holt's very, very
tiresome.
busy. I get it. But Nathaniel has no excuse. He's expressed so much interest in wanting to come back to this show numerous times, and every time they bring him in, he just disappears. And I don't think it's on
No,
his own
it's
accord. I think it's the
Definitely
writing. So.
writers, yeah.
So, yeah, they're on their way back. Marcel's still kind of pissed that Sophia, and it's spelled Sophia, I don't care, is,
Sofa?
Sofa. Her name is
She's a
Sofa.
sofa. She's a sofa.
Apparently she's still alive, although not in a good state. And, yeah, according to Vincent, who was also absent again this episode, they need some of the Hollow's blood to suck the magic out and save Sophia's body. I did it again. Which...
Well,
Well...
I mean, I didn't. I mean, the Hollow's blood is old and gross. Why, Marcel? I know you're trying to save someone here, but like that shit's toxic. Worse than you are. So you know what?
Just call him Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad.
No,
Bravo,
I just got
Nikki, bravo.
something in my eye right now.
No, we were laughing at Nikki doing the dance.
I didn't see it. I missed it. Thank God I missed it. I'll play back the recording later. Yeah, that was a kind of a surprise. Bites her. I'm like, oh, hey, you got the blood. I'm like, wait a second, this isn't gonna go well. There it is.
Now, she made her blood at that point become acidic. I don't think it was initially because I think the moment it would have hit his tongue, he would have been screaming
Yes.
Bloody Mary. But also, what was the point of her screaming? She could have just pushed him.
I know, right?
But
She could have done all these other things, so she screamed him unconscious. It's like I gotta knock a really super powerful vampire out.
I just
gotta
like
scream
I
at him.
sit there. I'm like I'm remembering Davina when she was younger and she was coming into her power, she was really powerful. She's very angsty, and she was like, whatever. I'm thinking like the Hollow, even though she's probably the body of a 16, 17-year-old, like maybe she's mentally that age too. No, she's acting like a child, screaming like with a tantrum. I just want to slap her. Like, seriously, screaming's not going to get you anywhere, sweetheart.
I mean, she has been a disembodied spirit for hundreds of years, so...
Well, yeah, more than hundreds of years, but you think after all that time of floating in the abyss and possibly watching here and there, she'd learn a few things.
Right, that's what I wanted to open with. We learned this episode that the Hollow is a dick to flower shops.
Man.
Like, really?
And I think it's just her energy is so freaking negative. It just sucks the life out of everything.
Yeah. Including the huge pile of witch corpses that she's, was piling up when Marcel found her. Just like, yeah, all these people, they served me, and it's a great honor to be sacrificed in my name, so you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Pile them all up. Creep-tastic.
It seemed like they the one that was alive seemed to be like, oh yeah, that's what we do. We die for cults, and they're dying for someone because it accomplishes so much.
Yeah, everybody loves a good cult. Alright, so now on to the meat of the episode, the only part we actually gave a damn about, or at least the only part Kim actually gives a damn about. Saving Elijah.
Yeah, just leave him in there.
And his fragmented mind, which is part of a fragmented containment crystal. So, yeah, Freya, go on in there. See what you can dig up.
You know what? I was kind of sitting there going, okay, you're sitting there, you're casting a spell, but you're going to be in the spell, so that must take a lot of power. And then she does it, and then she comes out of it. She's like, oh my god, I can't do this on my own. I need another witch. It's like, okay, you're supposed to be like one of the most powerful, smart witches in this. You think she would have thought of that beforehand?
She's a multitasker.
Not a very good one.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like a good idea.
I mean,
No.
She sent herself in. She needed another witch to send someone else in. Like, she needed another witch
She said she could not maintain the spell while she was in there also.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you think, she probably, like, I know we sat here last episode before the break saying, oh, we knew we went in with the synopsis and the promo knowing that Haley went in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I kind of let that work with my mind while I was watching the episode. I'm like, when does Haley go? And why are you being stupid? Why did you just put Haley in the first place? She has the biggest connection with Elijah. They're freaking each other in bed.
Right.
Like, for God's
Because she could send herself in, and I don't think she wanted to volunteer Hope that soon to channel to send Haley in.
I mean,
exhaust all possible, safer options first.
I mean, there's always, like, Vincent.
He's absent.
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
something-
have to
I don't
be.
think he's the easiest to get a hold of.
There's that.
And he's grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to deal with that shit.
So
She don't got time for that crap.
right, Freya fails outright, grabs Haley, says, I can send you in, however, I'm gonna need the kiddo. It's like, I'm gonna need the 8-year-old.
Wasn't it, like, a little bit more specific than needing another powerful witch? It also had to share her bloodline
It had
or
to
something?
share her
Yeah,
blood,
it's
yes.
powerful and
Yeah.
bloodline, yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so that
I'm
was the
guessing because
reason
it
they
was
needed
the
Hope.
whole going in your own family's mind kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, see, now here's my whole issue with it. You need to search. First off, I mentioned 2 weeks ago with the synopsis, it's like she's in the hallway from the Matrix, just a bunch of doors in a white hallway. So she says, you don't have time to search all of them randomly. Search randomly. There's 1,000 years worth of memories in there. Okay. You're in a hallway with thousands of identical white doors. She hadn't gotten to the red one yet. Thousands of identical white doors. How do you not search randomly?
I mean, she kind of was. She was opening a door, going in,
Right.
seeing the memory, and then walking by like 6 doors and then opening another door. And,
How
like,
do
so
you
she was going in
devise
randomly.
right? How do you devise a pattern to search those when you don't know what the fuck's behind the door until you open it? You can't just
Well-
be like, "Oh, this is the happy door. He's probably in here." No, you don't know that.
No, the thing is, he was in every one of those doors.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just what memory could they possibly reach out to him enough that they could
No, yes,
regain connection.
He was in all of those doors. She needed to find where his consciousness retreated to, which memory of was how she put it.
Yeah.
Which memory did he retreat to stay sane?
He was in all of them.
Right.
They had
Yes.
to
No.
wake him up.
I know that he was in all of them, but she needed to find where he
His consciousness went to hide, like
Right.
to save itself. It was in only one of those memories. All the other ones that went into is not where his consciousness was. It was in just one.
Like, he was there because they're his memories. Of course he's going to be there. He was present for them. But, like, Elijah himself mentally retreated to a specific memory. They had to find it and pull him out of that specific one. And it just turned out that specific one was of him being a recently turned vampire psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause he's
The
still
Red Door. I mean, we've heard about the
Mhm.
Red Door for how long now?
He was still dressed like a Viking.
Yeah. The
Is
Red
the
Door
door
was, I
red?
think, mentioned last season, right?
Door was...
No, I thought it was just like decrepit and wooden, like you would find in an old cabin.
It
It
was
was red.
painted. It was painted red. Because the leftmost part of the door was wooden, and it had like a streak. Yeah, because I was sitting there looking at it because it was like a lacquered up door with whatever, and I'm like, they really made this door look old, and I was like, they got the paint down right and everything. It was kind of crazy. But the Red Door is something that we've heard of from Elijah for a while now, right? This was last season, I think they brought it up
Two,
No.
I think.
2 seasons ago.
It was when Esther trapped him in his own head. I think that
Yeah.
was season something.
That was season 2.
Yeah.
I think. Esther trapped him in his own head and was mind-fucking him, basically.
Yep.
And... I mean, yeah, I guess, hey, all these doors are white, this one's not. Let's try there. Good idea.
Yeah.
Too bad that version of Elijah is also in the process of killing you.
Mm-hmm.
To which, hey, let's send Hope in with a dangerous, murderous vampire psychopath.
She still had her powers in there, so it's
Mhm.
not like she could have just like annihilated him if she really felt like she had to.
Yep.
Yeah, and, how much of that was Haley trying to reach through? I think it was more Hope, reorganizing his mind by screaming mommy and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, there was that point where she could hear Haley, like she'd hear ruckus in a room,
Mhm.
and she could hear Haley screaming, and she just like she threw out her arms. She yelled mommy, but she shook the hallway. She probably, annihilated some of the insulation between the walls so that Elijah could actually hear things. Like that's the only way I can explain it. Like there was.
She rattled his brain.
Well, yeah. I mean, not really. They're not in his brain. They're in his soul.
They're in his mind, as they put it.
It's just like she must have broken something down forever for him to be able to hear what was going on outside his memory. So, yeah, it wasn't just her. She used her magic because she's just a powerful little brat.
Well, you kind of saw like this white light and everything come through, and illuminate Haley, and like it was almost like a sonic boom went off. So yeah, it was definitely some kind of magic used.
Mm-hmm. And like it just seemed like Haley did have some of. I was really frustrated because I'm like, Haley, you can kick his ass. You're a hybrid, but she just let it happen. She let him try and eat her.
Mhm.
Like it's like just give him a good old punch in the schnoz and see what he does after that.
He's not a shark.
That's snout, not schnoz.
Schnauz is a slang for nose.
No,
It is,
also
but
You're
it's not.
supposed to punch a shark in the nose.
I heard you were actually supposed to punch him in the gills.
Why were you talking about punching sharks when?
Because
Haley.
you're the one who said punch him in the schnoz.
Yeah, but it's the only reason it was
the only
taken
predator that I've ever heard of that you punch in the nose to get away from.
It's snow.
It's not a bear. You don't punch a bear in the
Technically,
nose.
they tell you to do that with pit bulls too.
Yeah, well.
Punch them in the nose.
You punch anything in the nose and they're gonna be fucking shocked, so whatever.
Oh, my nose. Except
Not
an
pit bull. Dogs in general.
Okay. Maybe an
Just, like,
elephant would be shocked. It is a big nose. Anyway. So yeah, Elijah's mind is saved and reordered, and they reconstruct the crystal.
Yeah, but they can't put him back in his body yet because they need to kill the
They-
Hollow.
They need a huge sacrifice, to which Freya brings up a whole... plants the seed in Rebecca's head that I think is going to be our major character death for this season. You know, if it's a choice between any of us and Elijah, there is no choice. Because they all agree that Elijah's the best of them.
Mm.
I don't know, that's
I mean,
just a theory.
they're not including the best that was just born and is now aged a little bit. She's
True.
the best.
Yes, but that's because she's cute.
Well, they're just going off history, right? At this point, compared to the rest of them, Elijah's only gone on murder sprees, or been murderous, because to protect his family.
Yeah, I mean, look at when Freya was walking through the mine, and it's like every door she was opening, it was Elijah ripping people apart. You know, and the one she found was the table, and that's when she thought she found the real Elijah, and she's like, no, he just vanished and all that. But, like, you could see the way that Freya was walking through and just kind of, like, analyzing it, like, maybe my family's not what I thought it was, kind of, you know? Like, it seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like she was having doubts of her family.
She can only live for 1 year out of every 100. How much could she possibly learn about her family in 1 year when they're running around the fucking world
Right.
to escape Michael?
Right,
No.
that's my point, is I don't think she realized how bad her family actually is.
So, yeah, when I was preparing for this, I got so into caring about Elijah that I forgot another major thing that happened with Cole this episode. Oh yeah, all the thorny stakes are destroyed except for one of them that Marcel's keeping to help Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going to call her Sophia. I just... like, that's the character's name spelling, and I can't stop myself. I'm sorry.
Then spell it the way that works better in your brain.
It's not gonna work. It's in my brain. Anyway, one of the minions of the Hollow lets slip. Nobody can stop her. Not the ancestors, not, this person, not anybody. And then Cole's like, wait, the ancestors? Why'd you mention them? They're gone. Like, Davina's one of them. Davina's there. Why'd you mention them? But, like...
Guess what, Cole? If you would have stuck around for maybe an extra day or so, you would have figured this out, because you would have found out with the rest of your family.
Mm-hmm. So, he contacts a couple of the Harvest girls, like, hey, I got a whole bag of dark objects here. Let me talk to Davina. You can have them and all the other bags I got. He's like, no, we're going to make sure you never talk to Davina ever again. And it's like, don't piss off the source of your power by denying, because I think Davina will be equally interested in talking to Cole. That's just my opinion. So don't piss off the source of your power, because she can take it away.
I mean, wasn't she in corporeal form last we saw?
She was visible, but I don't think she was on...
She was in, like, the other, like, world with the...
So... Anyway. The, where was I going? Brain. Oh, yeah, so the Hollow comes to Cole while he's, like, standing at the grave and says, what if I told you I could resurrect Davina? Which, apparently she already did, or did I miss something?
I think it happened when she did the slit in her, like, it just, like that.
Mm-hmm. So apparently now Davina's alive and blood-linked to the Hollow. So whatever happens to the Hollow.
Oh, this is the loophole. This is where Davina's gonna be like, sacrifice me, the Hollow will go down with me, and there's this problem. It's solved.
I think the Hollow is smart enough to make it a one-way thing only.
Yeah.
I feel like
Whatever happens to the Hollow happens to Davina, not the other way around.
no, they're gonna find a loophole, so it works that way. I feel it. I feel it coming on. They're gonna be sitting here being like, "Oh no, we can't hurt the Hollow because Davina and Cole will be all sad," and they're gonna be like, "Oh no, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And then
is gonna be all like, "No, I'm already dead. I'm, not. That's great. Just kill the bitch."
no.
I think she's gonna be all like, "Look, I'm already."
We're gonna get some opposition from Cole for sure. Cole's gonna be like, "You can't kill the Hollow because Davina. I just got her back." Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that for sure.
Of course.
And there's going to be a little bit where Davina's going to be like, well, I'm alive again. I can be with Cole. We just have to figure out how to de-link me from the Hollow. But it's going to end up her sacrificing herself because they find a way to make it so it works both ways. That's the only way I see it, because it's an easy way, but it's going to be hard for them to get to that point because they have to get through the emotional part.
So de-link yourself from what we're being told is the most powerful witch to ever exist in this universe.
Wouldn't be the first time the most powerful witch that's come across. They fuddled. Like at first it's Esther, and then it was dealing with Davina, and then it's dealing with Dahlia. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this came right as Rebecca's on the phone with Cole, saying, "I think I'm going to stay in New Orleans until all this is done. Can I convince you to stay?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I can't. I gotta go." And this Hollow comes along and makes you her bitch.
And I you know what? I don't feel sorry for Cole at all, because he started meddling. He started meddling. He started trying to make deals, and the Hollow saw that he was vulnerable, so she took advantage of that.
Good point. Good point.
Didn't even think of that.
He was the weaker of the bunch, so she definitely took advantage of that.
But he's also the worst of the bunch. He's even worse than Klaus, according to him.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think Cole doesn't always think. He just kind of acts, and that's what I think makes him worse than Klaus, because Klaus actually thinks about it sometimes. He doesn't care, so he does shit anyway. But I think
He does have plans.
He does.
stops. Yeah.
His carnage it was planned in
But
some
like
way.
we saw with Hope, he can hold himself back. So Cole
I think
doesn't.
Cole can too when it comes to Davina, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Only
yeah.
that and only Davina. But when Cole decides I'm hungry, he's gonna go eat 100 people when only maybe 2 or 3 would have sufficed.
I mean, he could probably get away with one.
Yeah, he can even get away with 1 if he's careful, but no. So before we talk about next week's synopsis and everything, Dom, why did you put Reba McEntire in chat?
Because the whole joke with Rebecca is not knowing how to spell her name properly.
Oh.
So you being like, oh, Sophia, Sophia.
Ah, now I get it.
Yeah, so it's just because there was one night where we were trying to figure out how to actually spell Rebecca's name, and it's not spelt normally. There's a C and a K and an H, and there's all kinds of stuff in there that you would not normally spell
It's
Rebecca.
different than normal.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter when we write it down in the notes how it's spelled. We know Rebecca's Rebecca regardless of how you spell it. So
So he's making fun of you.
No one else can see our notes.
He's making
yeah,
fun of me. He's making fun of me.
I morphed Rebecca into Reba McEntire just in terms of spelling, just because it doesn't matter what you put as long as you know what you're talking about.
I know that, and I've been calling her Sophia since the character was introduced, and now is the first time that I heard Marcel say Sophia.
It's whatever. I heard
So
we mess up on. It's close enough that people still know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I do want to throw a side note out. I was watching the new season of Fear the Walking Dead, and there's this new antagonist on there, and I'm sitting there going, this guy looks familiar. Where do I know this guy from? He's very familiar. And I'm sitting there, and I start going on his IMDb, and I'm like looking at everything, whatever, and it says his name is like Caleb White something, and I'm like, who the hell is that on the originals? And I'm like, I don't know this character. And I'm like, I'm looking, I pull up the character's name on the Wikia. It's Cole's other body.
Yeah, it's just his witch body that he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was like in the love thing with Davina, like that Cole, that version of Cole, that actor is on Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm sitting there going like, why do I not recognize him? Like, it was just, yeah. So I thought
that happens so often. Like it took me forever to pick out the one character on Supernatural to connect her back to Dexter.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Yeah, that happens.
You know, I just thought it was interesting because I don't see that actor around a lot. You know.
No, I don't either. It was back when we used to call them Vincent and Coleb.
Yeah.
it's true.
That was a while ago.
I still think of Finn. I mean, Vincent as Vincent.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes I slip up.
I see the face, and it's like he was such an epic dick that season.
Yeah.
And the actor had like that, you know, the one hand behind the back, like kind of that douchebag pose that Finn had, like down perfectly.
Yep.
Anyway, next episode is called "A Spirit Here That Won't Be Broken." Stuff. Anyway.
Stuff.
When it's discovered that the Hollow is using a magical totem to fuel her power, oh, hey, look at that weakness, Freya enlists Rebecca and Klaus's help to locate and destroy it. Elsewhere, an ultimatum by the Hollow puts Cole at odds with his own siblings. What a surprise! While an unexpected run-in forces Marcel and Rebecca to confront the growing tension between them. Finally, the Hollow's plan for Haley leaves her in the fight of her life. Biggest surprise is that Cole is put at odds with his own siblings. Who saw that coming?
That was sarcastic. Badly sarcastic.
I know.
Sarcastic. You confused Nikki for a thing.
No, it was me actually confused whether or not I should act like why I can't reach him right now to backhand him. Like it's
okay.
like stupid comment. I'm gonna slap you.
Rude.
Thank God there's that curtain there. We don't even have a line of sight.
Just throw shit at him. Like,
Wouldn't get to him.
I would climbing cats on him.
I would appreciate it if none of those things happened. Is there anything else you guys want to mention?
There was no Freya's girlfriend this episode.
And you know, before we started, I thought of that. I'm like, there was no Keelan at all.
What about Vincent?
There was no Vincent. But Vincent's been absent for a couple of episodes now, hasn't he?
He was asking about Vincent. Vincent has been gone for seasons. Vincent is clammed up in his fucking apartment being a little bitch with his book.
Little bitch with his book. Bitch with a book.
I think he's only been gone this episode. I don't recall him being gone longer.
He's been off on a couple of episodes, yeah.
The last episode we saw was when
he took the book back.
When he took the book back, it was after that was the episode after Elijah killed all the Harvest Girls. So he's been gone for a few episodes.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right then. So that is our show, Dom. Where can they find you? I'm sorry, Mr. Smiles. Where can they find you?
You can find Mr. Smiles down below at Mr. Smiles on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Nikki, where can they find you?
I just want to say that I love Haley shutting down Klaus when he's getting a little too rambunctious. She's like, just go take a walk.
Sit down. Calm thyself.
Just chill, boy.
Take a walk around the block.
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
This will be the new thing I tell people to calm down. Go take a walk. Kim, where can they find you?
Also on Twitter at HUFFITY,
There's no Mr. Smiles on Twitter. I just checked.
I was gonna search that up when we were done. You could
Are you
find
gonna
me
make it-
on
are you gonna make it
Twitter
in
at
Twitter again?
Philodrin.
No, because there's like Mr. Smiles 1 2 3 4. So it's like it's got to be like one that is like
Private.
taken. Yeah, or something that you can't access. But yeah.
You can find me there on Twitter. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Nikki
And
nods
smiles.
her approval.
And Smiles.
We're not finishing until all horrors are smiling.
Well, I guess we're never ending.
I know, right? Okay,
Just turn it off.
I give up.